welcome to OG and Nephew. We end in week 6 and diving right into week 7 this Thursday. A lot has happened already, a lot has occurred, and we got more to come. So diving right in, we look directly at the chaos that we call the Browns organization. And it's a lot to unpack, but it's going to be pretty much a Browns episode. We're just talking about Cleveland today. We had Joe Flacco exiting last week before week 5, and he joined the Cincinnati Bengals as their starting quarterback.
Right.
He went from our starting quarterback looking terrible, and then they called. The head coach said, Stefanski said, they called us unexpectedly and asked for him specifically.
Stefanski wasn't even involved. And hello, people. Grand rising to everybody. First of all, Stefanski wasn't a part of that decision making.
Mhm.
It was done purposely, in my opinion, because that was his reason and his crutch of not wanting Shedeur to be a part. Because once again, remember what I said in the first episode? I said Stefanski quarterback was the Gabriel kid,
Mhm.
and Andrew Berry's pick was Shedeur. And I said, what? The season is already lost.
Yeah.
Because there was what? Division from beginning. And everything's playing out right now. And what people, I think those that probably have more insight being former professional football, just professional athletes, because it's not just under the umbrella of football. It's all professional sports. There's a power struggle. Andrew Berry is recognizing I'm making all these picks, bringing all this talent, and you're supposed to be known as offensive coordinator. This is why we hired you, because of the potential of being a great head coach in the end, meaning you pass on your duties, but you're still trying to hold on and prove yourself as an offensive coordinator, and you've shown you're not a good offensive coordinator.
And now that you say that, it's bringing up another top subject of like, is he overstepping with? So he probably told Barry what he's looking for in a quarterback. Barry doing his job. It's just they, for some reason, settle on Gabriel, but you had already previously told me you want this, XYZ, this height, this structure, this build. And he went and got that, and then you sabotage it when I find you what you wanted.
And it also shows you how powerful ego is.
Mm-hmm.
Remember I said the Browns organization did not forget what Deion said. Do not draft my son. So what did Andrew Berry say? Like, yeah. And I understand man's ego, their pride. And I think.
And it had to go back to where Deion, I remember somebody interviewing him, asking him, like, oh, does he feel he's up there name-wise, like the Eli Manning? And when he came out and he had the choice, his father had the choice to decide where he wanted to go. And he said, yeah, like, bro, I know what my son needs. You know that. So it's like people the Browns are holding that against them, but somebody else would have did it too.
But it's not just the Browns; it was the league.
And it's only certain players that can pull that.
The Browns weren't supposed to draft him, but the Browns said, "Forget what y'all talking about. He's a talent, and we're glad that we got him in the 5th round. He's already showed his. Listen, when the players speak highly of you, that's all that matters. And people, those that play the game, the players' opinion matters because we know what we see. We know talent. They want to play us like dumb jobs, like we don't have any intelligence, we don't have understanding of this game. This is what they do. They have full understanding of the game. And Deion, he was being brash. Like I said, Cleveland's low-hanging fruit. It's easy to make the little side remarks because we, as an organization, we haven't shown nothing. And the organization is representation of the city. That's what I can't stand.
Right.
This organization, none of these sports teams represent truly the heart of who we are as a people. You know, and that's why it's funny, these fans, they take it to heart. We don't take it to heart. We just understand, if you do come in our presence, if I do meet you, whether I'm in your hometown or you go in my hometown, be respectful.
Right.
Because that's the thing. We understand, like, it's all about respect.
And now that you bring that point up, just the head coach of Pittsburgh, Mike Tomlin, he's always respected our our players. And when Chubb got hurt, they said that he chewed out homeboy for doing that hit.
I don't care.
Yeah, but I was gonna say I'm bringing up he mentioned that he said Andrew Berry must be a lot smarter than me or us, because it does not make sense to trade Flacco to a division rival.
And you know why he says that? He's thinking that he's going to bring more division. It's already being talked about around the league. But guess what? I told you, outside of this regular conversation, I said I never cared for Mike Tomlin. I've told everybody that it's something about him. And when he made that comment, it really made me understand why I don't care for him. Why are you worried about what's going on in our organization? Mark my words, him stepping out, because he really stepped out of bounds, it's going to bite him in the end.
Yeah,
and you know what people are thinking? Well, Shedeur ain't going to make the field. If that young man does make the field, because sometimes some things are divine. And I'm not putting this young man on this pedestal but just understand, when you watch somebody go through things and you see things get changed around them.
Because
I mean, look at what happened with Baker. Let's think back to Baker.
We
saw the signs with Baker. Tyrod Taylor gets hurt. I mean, a phantom, and it was a real live injury. It wasn't for him to be at the helm. So what ended up happening? Baker was ushered in. But Baker, like he said, he was immature. Remember I told you, Baker killed himself. It wasn't an organization.
Oh, yeah.
People want to paint this picture that we gave up. No, he wasn't showing signs that he could lead this organization. He made it about him.
Yeah.
So same thing. They're trying to compare Shedeur. Shedeur is already ready. And that's why he's not saying much. He's sitting back. He's recognizing within himself.
Right.
If I just sit back and keep doing what I'm doing.
Yeah, and they had the controversy around like the number 2 quarterback even after Flacco left. So, it's only 2 active quarterbacks on the roster and 1 on the practice roster. And they brought the practice roster Zappy.
And let's get to the core. Not to cut you off. Let's get to the core of things. As soon as Flacco go to the Bengals, he hitting them, right? No. So who's really at fault?
Yeah.
And that's where you're seeing the pressure being applied to Stefanski's.
And I saw a quote where somebody asked Flacco, it's just right there on the table, people asking Flacco, like, bro, what's going on? You out now, you can talk. And he kind of hinted like that young kid needs a shot.
Yes.
He needs to play, and I'm willing to lead.
Listen to me. Everybody in that locker room know what it is. So it's on who? Stefanski.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So once again, what did I say in the first episode? You saw by them having their pits of who they want as quarterback, just the pits that they made. Not saying they were going to lead the team, but these are who they see potential in, even though they're lower rounds. You saw the division. So therefore, when you saw the division, you're seeing the general manager saying, hey, I'm evaluating what you're saying fits your program or your system. But what it's really showing is you're not good at what you do.
Yeah.
You're not you're not a good offensive coordinator, and you're definitely not a head coach.
Exactly.
And I told you what, being a head coach is being what? A CEO, leader, man. You're tapped into every aspect of the organization, and you're setting the tone. And the problem is he never came in setting a tone. He just walked into a title and knew what he knew. He was offensive coordinator. Right. And that's how
Do you feel there's a position for him in the Browns, or he just needs
to? No. Because you know why? How many years has he been here? Six. The definition of insanity is what? Repeating the same thing, expecting what?
A change. Yeah.
That's insanity.
Yeah.
It's been shown to you multiple times. So guess what? If it's been shown to you multiple times, it's not going to miraculously change.
Yeah.
And that's every aspect of life.
Yeah.
That's real talk on life.
Yeah. And the Browns, they hamstring their ability to bring in a high caliber quarterback. So we look for the draft, because When you look at all the
we got
quarterbacks
the
we
steal
still
of the
have,
draft.
we still of the
We
draft.
got the steal of
So
the
we look for
Shedeur,
the draft and we
listen,
got it, you know.
forget all the narratives. Shedeur was a first round draft pick.
Mhm.
Did he have flaws? Yes. But the young man is 6'3", legit 6'3", I give him about 215.
Mhm.
He is sneaky athletic. And what I mean sneaky, he knows he can do certain things, but he is a student of the game.
And
He
now, yeah.
understands how being in the pocket is about keeping all your pieces, whether you have weapons or not. But if I can get you the ball, it's just going to raise your level that much more. And that's what leaders do. That's what true ballers do. They raise the level
Mhm.
of those around them. And that's the thing that, once again, I always said, we don't know what's going on behind those closed doors. We only speculating and giving our opinion.
Right.
And like I said, I wasn't blessed to go no further than college, and it was only a year and a half. But I know this game. I understand how locker rooms work.
Mhm.
Whether it was high school, college, it don't matter. Locker rooms, locker
And
room.
from both sides, you was a coach.
And
You
I
know
was
what
a
I'm saying?
coach.
So
Yes,
you
I was.
yeah.
But a locker room is a locker room.
Yeah.
And when somebody comes in knowing who they are, because that's all it's about. Do you know who you are? And that young man knows who he is.
Mhm.
He knows he's a leader.
Yeah.
So your leadership goes through what? Action. And he doesn't do anything for clicks. Like, he really is this quality young man. But this is the thing that people are missing. It's a bigger picture. He has a chance to validate his father of, this is what fatherhood, the man being in the home, can do.
Because I was gonna bring up, he's probably one of the first him and his brother. They are the first players that we have actually been able to, and still to this day, you can pull up documentation video of them from child being able to pick up that ball all the way to now, today, present, and see the dedication that they put in.
And they
for
done
the
multiple
game.
and they did multiple sports. But once they figured out what their passion is, and see, that's the thing about life. And I hope this reaches many people. It don't matter if it's sports, because we are the believer in arts, and being an athlete is like being an artist. For those of us that really understand, the things that you love and have a passion for, that is your calling. But the reason people don't really embrace that is because of fear. And it's not anything that's being projected to them by society. It's the fear of within, not being comfortable with thyself, knowing thyself. Don't ever go against yourself. Because, know why? Because life will be unnatural. That's not natural. You're not supposed to go against yourself. You're supposed to know who you are.
Right.
And
I,
believe in that.
I like the way he always, every time they ask him, I'm ready. I'm ready. I know what it takes. And we're all behind Gabriel. He says what he needs to say, but he says, I'm ready. He letting everybody know every time they ask him. And it goes to a question. So that lets you know something's going on. Why would Cincinnati call for a Joe Flacco when everybody's watching what's going on and y'all are downgrading this player? Why not let the player go?
Because that's all perception.
Well, now let that player go.
That's all perception that they allowed to grow, thinking that it would bring, but they know what they have. Don't get it twisted. They know what they have.
I'm looking at the state. You know, the stadium just got approved from the city.
And that's another thing. I think it was already set where, I mean, no disrespect to Joe Flacco, but the fact that you said this was the best option, you already said you were chalking the season. You understand how tough our division alone is.
Oh, yeah.
So you're sitting there telling me this 40-year-old is better suited to lead us in having a successful season. What's a successful season? Is it winning or winning the Super Bowl?
Right. And all of whom you ask,
because
you'll hear some people say, as long as we're 500, above 500.
At the end of the year, what are we doing? We're watching the two best teams at the end of the season, right? That's all we're doing, right? All the focus. Now, once that happens, do anybody talk about the teams that made it to the playoffs? No. What are we talking about? The champ.
Yeah.
So each year, why are you doing this?
Yeah.
To win a Super Bowl.
Yep.
Right? Okay, so this
and that's when they feeding that to the, and when we look at the active roster, it's like,
so when I said in the first
y'all
episode,
not
but
ready.
hold up, what did I say in the first episode? I've always felt like the Browns organization, since they came back in '99, been doing what? This to the fans in the city. Total disrespect. We're a joke. And that's why you don't make them your idols. I had to separate and say, you know what? It's not that serious, but at the same time, I love the game. Mm-hmm. You're really disrespecting the game. And these young men and grown men, because it's a mixture of both, are putting their bodies on the line.
And you know what I never really hear the reporters ask that can get face to face? Are you guys fighting for a championship? I've never heard them ask that. So,
no,
somebody needs to put
it's been asked
on the record. Like,
I think Myles Garrett has the right. He's always had, like, once he came into his own, knowing how dominant he truly is and can be, that's all he's been talking about. I want to win champ. But the thing I have a problem with is not all of us are, you know what? I'm not going to say that. We are leaders. We all have leadership in some form or fashion. And we all go about it a different way, certain different ways. But when you are the highest paid, there comes responsibility. So therefore, what impact do I want to leave on my teammates? They can say whatever about me personally, personality, all that. But when it came on getting between those white lines, nobody could ever question my dedication or my leadership. And what I mean by that, when I say leadership, true leadership, it's a no-die attitude. No, seriously, I want you to hear this. True leadership, there's a no-die attitude. I don't care what the situation is. You always fight. When you see people stop fighting, I have a problem with that. And what I mean by that is, forget the optics of millions of people. This is just about you being on the team and your teammates.
Watching from the sideline.
Watching how you, like, that's the thing. Like, I respect the ones that were like the Ray Lewis. Like, that's why certain players I enjoy watching was, a lot of it could come off as show, but I'm talking about they really understood, like, yo, what we do is gonna be short-lived, and I understand there's an urgency, and I will never quit on myself. Because that's what you're doing. You think you quitting on the team, or no, you're quitting on yourself. It's easy.
Yeah, I heard Ray say that, like, man, I can't go in the locker room and be like, man, I had a little bit left. You're like, man, I got to get dragged to the back.
When you do things on a high level, if you're not committing yourself fully, you're going to leave some on the table, and there's always going to be that what if. But if you know you gave everything you had, the dedication and the work, and that's why I have a problem with the Browns and what they're doing. I'm like, don't sit here and say you represent the city. No, you don't represent the city. Because I know too many people, all the day-to-day issues that they face and all the things that they might have gone through in life, they still get up with hope. That's why they got up, because they have some glimmer of hope and moving forward. Because we don't know what the day brings. So you probably do what? Put your best foot forward, because that's all you can do. Be grateful for the life you have and put your best foot forward.
Yeah. So I'm looking at them. They trying to set up. They agreed on the stadium. They're gonna go ahead and move. The lawsuits have been dropped. The city will pay for something with the
$100 million.
Yeah, with the
it's $100
and
million.
The team will give back something with the demolition.
And I just want to put it out there, they really were trying to move it to Columbus.
Oh.
Yeah, no, they were. Like and there's a lot of people out here that never wanted the Haslams to be the owners. The one person that I do see that is a glimmer of hope, of positivity, that really cares about the city is his wife. Because when he was going through that turmoil, they were trying, they putting out his business practices. And, with the some of these suits that was coming out, and what he was talking about, like, look here, man, we know what it is. And I'm just talking about from our perspective of what some of his leaders and his companies were saying about our people and the names, and that doesn't reflect very well. So what did she do? She got ahead of it. She's
Mm-hmm.
like, yeah, let me get a hold of this. Because it is about image. You know what I mean? And a lot of times you could be very sincere and good people, but once people put smut on your name, and that's rule number one. What Kendra say?
And that's the
Don't let
thing,
nobody put
and
no smut on
that
your
let you
name.
show how powerful,
Oh, money.
like he's doing it for whatever reason, but she had to reel him back in real quick.
Do you
Like,
know owning the Browns ain't nothing but a hobby for them?
yeah, exactly. So and she's looking at it like, bro, don't let your hobby ruin what we have. You know what I'm saying? So,
well, I think the biggest thing is who he mirrors himself as. He mirrors himself as Jerry Jones.
mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
He acts, yeah,
But
you could tell.
I think people, even himself, need to understand Jerry Jones' success was because he picked the right man to lead his owner. When he first got ownership, as far as the head coach, it was Jimmy Johnson. Once again, it goes back to ego. Like, to be successful, you had to be humble. We all had to play our roles and be happy with it. If you can't be happy for somebody's success, I don't know what to tell you. And I think if people really live by that, then we'll see it. But we don't control what goes on in Berea, and that's the part of being a fan. That's why you can't make this. That's why a fan is short for fanatic. You got to keep reality and you got to keep things in perspective.
So, for me, hopefully they can right the ship. And if Barry stays on and Stefanski somehow is the let go within the next 3 years, because they're looking to move in the next 3 years to the stadium.
And Barry, not cut you off, but Barry is.
Do you think he'll stay?
Barry has some things that's on his name. There's some,
because he's been here 6 years.
What's the
as
word
well.
I'm looking for? He's not.
They came in together.
He's comparable to the ills of the organization too. Now he's done some good things. I won't say great, good things. I've liked some of his picks. Like, you're not always going to hit. But I've always believed in this. Any professional team, you got to know the city that you're in. What is the essence of the city? Thing that I would run on, the lack of disrespect. So I'm going to build an organization where it will be respected. So I need men that respect themselves first.
Like a total like attitude change inside.
Like if you look at the winning organizations, they really reflect the city. If you really dig deep, and I'm talking about the consistent winning organizations, they reflect the city. They are tapped in. These players, they're not tapped in.
Right.
They don't want to be here. You know why? When you're losing, do you want to be somewhere where it's miserable? And you're the laughing joke. When you step on that field, they cracking joke.
And it ain't even about losing. It's like when you go look at your organization, like, do you even like, man, I'm gonna trust the process because I see it. They don't see it yet. But when you see people laughing and you don't even have a clear vision, you really want out. Like,
yeah,
I can't even fight for it. I don't got nothing to stand on. So, that's what I was saying was I hope in 3 years before they move into that stadium, you need a clear cut quarterback that you're letting know, man, he run this house. We're taking this to another chapter in Browns history in this new place, and you need to have that not be the main thing on your mind.
Another thing, this is how so messed up it is right now. They are talking about next year's draft, and you haven't even found out if you got your guy on your roster. You're talking about next year, how promising, and you haven't even found out fully.
And like, let them play.
So right there, it's a joke. Right there, it's a joke. Remember, they were trying to push the Archie narrative. Archie Manning at Texas.
Right.
Now, when they want to talk about Nepos, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're seeing that, and there's nothing wrong with that. If you're able to find benefit because of the ones that came before you, Just don't disrespect the opportunity. We're not all going to succeed,
right?
But don't disrespect it.
Yeah,
And
work hard. Yeah,
what I mean
deal.
by that, take full advantage of that opportunity.
And get your degree in the process
and
if you can. You know what I'm saying?
And move accordingly.
Yeah.
That's why I like, not to get off subject, I like how Bryce is living his life.
I was just telling. I was just talking about him.
He knows who he is.
Yeah. He left home.
He ain't never. First of all, he always felt like he was slighted. He was not recognized because all he heard was Brownie.
Mm-hmm.
But if you, and I think me and you talked about this, I said it ain't always the oldest one. It's the one that got. It's the one that has the chip on the shoulder.
Yeah, the chip.
That got something to prove.
And I was just talking about this. Like he went the school he chose, just like just want to get out the house, man.
I think it's just about he's really following his father's steps because he's taking control of his life now. The one thing he watched his father do is try to control his narrative. That's what makes him weak in my eyes. I'm not talking about his character or I don't know him. I'm just talking about the fact that you try to control your narrative. That is unnatural. Yeah. You have to put in the work, go out there and perform, and let the chips lay where they lay. Like, you didn't create the hype. All you could do is be the best version of yourself. But once he started trying to control the narrative, that's why they don't respect him.
Yeah, it's too much behind the scenes you're doing to make yourself look good.
First of all, it's right in front of your face.
Yeah. You didn't. But it would have planned out if he would have been more.
This is the thing. He would have been more respected if he stayed in Cleveland. Plain and simple. His version of the story is he felt he had to leave to learn how to win. But that had nothing to do with it. It was about your maturity as a man and what you were willing to go through. But you didn't have nobody guiding you in that area of saying, hey, sometimes in life, you might end up being what they say they are, and you might not end up being it. It's going to be okay, though. So once again, he tried to control his narrative.
Yeah.
And then when he saw the type of organization that Pat Riley was running, because you got to understand, if you know the history of Pat Riley, he is known for shortening your career. James Worthy retired after 10 to 12 years. He retired 94, so 12 years. 12 years. And he left early from college. Magic, that's a different story. We all heard whatever happened with him, but they got him up out. Byron Scott, after his run in LA, he wasn't the same, he's hard on players because he comes from Adolph Rupp. Do your history. Adolph Rupp was his coach in college. One of the most racist coaches in the history of college basketball. But he was an influential coach as far as S's and O's, winning, creating players that went on to the league. So when you have that as your architect in the back of your mind, and you're trying to produce that in modern day games, look what he did when he went to the Knicks. Patrick wasn't the same after he left. He wore him out to the nuts. Alonzo Mourning, kidney started shutting down. Tim Hardaway wasn't the same.
Some of the best.
His knees were so. There's a price to winning. There's a sacrifice to winning. So once he tried to manipulate the game, and I get it. You're smart. But when people start peeping your game, you're no longer smart. You're transparent. You become desperate looking. Now, nobody should feel forced out to leave, but sometimes you got to read the room. You did? You got to learn to read the room.
Yeah, I mean, I think he would have been great either way, man. He just, we saw it in high school. He would have just rock, go play, rock it out.
But what's so crazy, and it's not to take nothing away from him, but there's always been great players in this region. And that's why we're doing this, to hopefully bring out some of the past, recognize the present, and hopefully put out the future ahead of time. Clark Kellogg, and these are names these are cemented because of what they did in high school. Gus Johnson, who's from the Akron area. Man, I can't think of my man's name. He played center, and he retired with the Cavs. It'll come to me later, but there's all kind of players. The Grant brothers. You know what I'm saying? Eric Snow, he comes from Canton. And that's just up here.
And you know, I think it's definitely important. Like I'll make sure we put in the description in the video just influential names, so people can just go research them on the. I'll put them in the description.
And I like to give, you know,
because you can read their story. Their success. Somebody's written about them, and then just pay. You might see something in your life that, like, man, maybe I could pick it up right here and see if I can change my trajectory. Because like I might be headed towards here. I'm running with my cousin every day. We skip to school, but that's where Eric Snow was at one point, and then he went this way.
And it's another thing. It's a different time and era now.
He running the same streets you run,
but it's a different time and era now because I think what motivated the average athlete was one, trying to get free education. There were steps to this. So once they started removing the steps in certain sports, and then it became more about that instant gratification, that getting the money, what they call now, what's the lingo, getting the bag now. But what made the players great in the past was just keeping that carrot dangling and working legit, like knowing that the things that you had to go through to get to the highest level is good foundation. If you haven't never been through nothing, trust me, your success is going to be fleeting. It's going to only last for so long.
So it's like quick money now, and then you don't have no ground to stand on when something get rocky.
You have to go through some things.
You know, money slowly.
You need that character building.
Then you get your big payouts.
You need that character build. You got to struggle before you have true success. If you get instant success, I think that is the hardest thing to do. Why? Because now, how do you maintain that success?
Yeah, they buying your hotness. They're not buying you.
How do you maintain it?
Yeah, they're not buying into you.
But if I came from the ground up, meaning I never had nothing, never had regular, and I got that chip on my shoulder, and then once I reach my goal, guess what? Now I know what it takes to maintain it. Know why? Because I'm gonna keep it humble. Why? Nothing changes.
And I know where I can go back.
Nothing. I don't want to go back.
Right. So that
I know what I went through to get. It keeps you humble.
Yeah. So looking at other sports in the area, games to look out for this week coming up. A lot of games to play last week was on Thursday.
Yeah, how was it?
It might have been because of the holidays.
How was that game? I'm sorry I wasn't able to make it. How was the game you went to last week?
It was cold, but Maple, you know, they was coming out blazing, and it was a lot of penalties. But that was the only downside. It was a good game. It was just a lot of penalties. Bedford, they didn't look ready. You know, they were kind of like they weren't just prepared communication wise. So they had a lot of penalties on.
Did you catch who the head coaches at Bedford?
No, I didn't check that out. I'll have to look that up. But Maple, they had a couple players out there that look college ready, like, and that's what stood out. You know, so
well, I know they have that quarterback, a young man that transferred a couple years ago. I was able to see him play his first year at Maple. Looked the part, definitely. I'm sure he's probably has some schools looking at him, and I know number 4, the young man is in his genes. I heard he has already committed to Ohio University, so congratulations to him. But I think his number is number 4.
Number 4 was my player of the game.
Yeah, he's definitely a baller. He plays corner and receiver, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
Yeah. But shout out to him. Hope he has a successful. Well, I hope the whole program, both programs, have a successful season. We here to big up all the programs. I know there got to be a winner and loser, but you know, in the heat of battle, I hope everybody get a chance to perform at their highest level.
And on the Bedford side, you know, the quarterback, he held his head. You know, things were going bad, but he kept getting out there. You know, so just to shout him out, he was number 7. Number 11, he was getting after the ball on defense all game, and he had a pick 6 It was about at least 80 yards.
Would he play safety or corner?
Safety.
Okay.
And he had got the interception, ran it back, right. But a penalty happened on a bad block.
Okay.
And then he ended up getting another touchdown later in the game, right before the end of the half, on a bad punt that went short, and he took it back. So shout out to that young man from Bedford. Y'all keep doing what y'all doing. Maple stands at 6-2, heading into the Garfield matchup. And Bedford is heading into a match with games to look out for this week. Minter versus Lorraine. Both of them are undefeated, so somebody got to lose. That's an anticipated game. Canton McKinley versus Jackson. Canton McKinley can seal their title now.
Are we talking about Massillon Jackson?
They win this one, they can go ahead and seal it up. Canton South versus Tuslaw, and Mayfield versus Chardon. All of these games, they're very significant, to whether somebody getting a major boost towards the playoffs.
Yeah, they're getting towards the end,
locking up a playoff berth or title in their division.
And hopefully we'll have a list of names that we can highlight before the playoffs start. Once the end of the regular season come, that give some recognition to their season.
Because a lot of teams got like maybe 2 games left.
Yeah. So we're at the end because and high school basketball is about to start up in less than a month now.
So we look forward to all of these teams. Hopefully the kids are learning, progressing, and if you're going into college, man, just keep your head down. Finish out the season how you want to,
and do your research. Please don't depend on anybody else to guide your life. It's your life. Take charge. Don't be lazy. If you don't know the answers, go ask for it. All you gotta do is go to your local library. Go to your high school library. That's part of their job of your guidance counselors. I'm sorry, let's put it in order. Go to your guidance counselors. That's what their job is to do, is to guide you for your future endeavors. So go ask these questions that you might need to ask as far as how do you get to the next level. And it's very simple, just getting the information on the school you want to go to. That's where it starts at. Don't limit yourself. If you believe you can go to a certain school, then go apply. But make sure you're being honest and realistic with yourself. Make sure your grades and your test scores are taken care of.
Know what that coach is looking for at that school.
Well, above anything else, you're a student athlete. Make sure you're realistic with yourself. Make sure you have the grades and the test scores. If you don't, then you have to go the secondary route. Right. And that's why they have junior colleges. There's never an end to something. You just have to do the research and be realistic with yourself.
Just, man, they will help you, man. Guidance counselor, man, they can turn a guidance counselor and the help from the teachers and your parents. I've seen somebody turn their life around in the last semester of their whole high school career. So it's like, man, you can make it happen. You can get a 4.0 easy if you just buckle down and like, man, you ain't got to go to every party, man, or hang out every night, bro. Like, just focus on the moment and the time you in. And now that you mentioned basketball, we look forward to the NBA season coming up. They're about to wrap up the preseason. Everybody's pretty much done. So
you're not gonna see nothing.
Yeah, you got about 8 days to the real season.
My honest opinion about it, season, if you understand the NBA, season ain't gonna get really going till after Thanksgiving. But we do have we had previous seasons of teams getting out hot and then fizzling out in the middle, or some have made it to the end, but by then that's when all the major injuries hit. That happened to us. Like they didn't even want to talk about us last year, but we was the best team majority of the season. But guess what? You know why they didn't talk about us? Because they knew we were gonna fade at the end. And what did we do? Actually, I blame the coach. We didn't never get a chance to talk about it. He failed them. He gave Rick Carlisle too much respect. He got out coached.
Okay.
And Rick Carlisle didn't do nothing special.
Yeah.
He didn't do nothing special.
Was it just like, he was just happy to be in that moment or something?
He gave him too much. Yeah. So instead of sticking to what got you there, all of a sudden you're overthinking. We got to change it up
because they did. He was throughout the season. He made it look easy
because he stuck to his formula. What he was feeding the players, he was believing in it himself. And when they got to the playoffs, he tightened up. He got away from it. He shortened his bench. Remember what I always told you?
Yeah, he did.
I understand there's things we don't know that go behind the door, behind closed doors, based on contracts you got to add in. This is a business. Yeah. This is entertainment. Yeah. It's not just sports. So it's a lot of things we don't know and don't understand unless you live in it.
I'm trying to see if OKC will stick together and continue to grow. Whether the organization will, break them up, or the guys just continue to grow together and turn into a dynasty that they saying they could be.
Well, I kind of mumbled it out quick. They have no control.
Right.
So when I say that,
as far as the players,
the organization.
Yeah. Oh, I mean.
So if you go back in your mind a little bit, what helped the OKC was Shy getting the calls. He got a lot of calls. Like everybody had their signature moves where refs recognize it, so they get the benefit of the doubt. Let's watch this year, see if he gets those same calls.
Right, and now that you say that, everybody usually get a year or two, and then they shut it down.
It's almost
all about adjusting.
It's a test of your will.
Yeah,
it's a test of your will. Are you really that guy?
Right,
and you rise above that. Or are you dependent on that?
Right.
Think about James Harden. Why did his decline happen? So he stopped getting those calls.
That's why. He's the first person that comes to mind. Like
he had an MVP.
He was like 2 years. Like he had a run.
When he stopped getting those calls, what happened?
Yeah, it was getting out of control.
Now, granted, he added to those woes. His lifestyle.
Players definitely don't have no control, but I like the way they do commercials together. They seem like they want to. It's always gonna be one that's gonna exit, but they seem to draft well, so they're gonna keep bringing in those pieces.
Check this out, man. I ain't trying to make it about this country. Yeah, this ain't our kids, man.
They is sending the league out. They sending the league.
It's international.
It's crazy now. Yeah,
it's international.
You saw it 2 years and 2 years.
So what does that say about our kids?
And that's the thing. They taking this was the main outlet to always drive our youth.
Do you know what killed basketball? Do you want to hear the real?
Was the
AAU?
Okay, yep.
And I'm not just saying it because everybody say it. I used to coach AAU.
Right. You saw it firsthand.
So AAU was an opportunity for you to play against good talent, be around better talent that you possibly might be around on your regular high school team, but also
in your area.
Get development in your game, whatever your weaknesses were. You were supposed to come back from the next year as a better player. In AAU, they don't even really do. So when I was involved in AAU, I got a chance to do it my 9th grade year. I was on AAU squad. And I think my 10th grade year had part of my 10th grade. And we had practices. We had skill development. Like you were learning from another coach that was outside of your high school coach. So you were learning a whole different philosophy or a way to look at the game.
Right.
So that's another tool to your
vital piece. Yeah.
It's another tool to your game. Now, when they do AAU, they just meet up. It's just a collection of talent. They
put
meet
the jersey on,
and they just go play. So when that happens, you're not getting a chance to go through game situations where you develop this IQ for the game of going through something, seeing a certain situation, and being able to put it in your data bank. But like I said, it's just a collection of talent, and they go out and play, and it's hurting the game. There's no true teaching of the game and understanding of the game, or how you can look through the game, because there's many lenses to see this game, even though there's really
so
basic.
Do you feel that? Because I know back when Zion and the Ball brothers, that was the highest era of AAU. They were bringing all the young and Bronny. That was an era. Then you think they would go back eventually?
AAU was ruined
long time ago?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because once corporations got involved.
Yeah. And they really involved now. That Zion, the Ball, all these kids.
So back during my time, we had the Century Cage camp and you had the 5-star camp. I'm talking about regional. What was accessible. Of course, you had the Nike camps and all that, but I'm talking about region wise, where we're from. It was Century Cage Camp and 5-Star Camp, and those are your ways of getting exposure. So if you went to these particular camps, did well, then you might get invited to the Nike camp or the Adidas. You know what I'm saying? But basically, you had to come out of your region, and that's, you know, we didn't have internet. A lot of it was publication through magazines. You know, all those different things. So word of mouth. Like, think about it. Before technology, everything was
you gotta make
word
a
of
name
mouth.
for yourself.
You really had to put in work.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've gotten away from that. I just saw some on the news this morning when I was leaving work. Down in Columbus, I think there's a precedent that they're trying to set of having high school players getting paid. Okay. And I've been hearing about this for a minute, that this was the next phase. And somebody has already tried to put something on the law books.
So this is high school?
High school.
Okay. My second team, I want to see if the Cavs.
They made all the moves.
They did good?
They did great.
Okay. I watched the game last night.
Look, they've been trying to get rid of Garland for the longest, so I'm feeling like that's his representation. But I hope it's not true, because every year, like, because of Donovan Mitchell, they don't want it to work. It ain't about whether it works. You have to look at their talent, what they bring to the team. One, Garland he's still a young man.
Right.
He's still growing into his body. That's another thing. They're not aligned. Like back in the day, you grew into who you were going to become before our eyes. You get what I'm saying?
You could just see it from Dwight Howard. He came in skinny and he just started.
And that's another thing why I can't stand the fact that you know, LeBron got his hands in so many things, and you know, as soon as I hear a player sign up with Clutch, I'm like, and I'm not trying to knock them, but they've done too many goofy things for me, like really interfere with certain things. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, when that happens, you know, think about this. What don't get talked about. Look at all the players that left. Clutch. Because of how they were doing business.
Yeah,
you get what I'm saying?
We'll have to pull that up on
so
the next
you know, when he wants to, like, he's almost like a little spoiled kid. But this ain't no knock on him. I respect you. You garnered all that. You created all that through your hard work. But when it start messing with other organizations that you're not even involved with,
and you could see that. You can see that
you can feel it.
Yeah, it's like once you get too many players on Clutch in your locker room, you got an issue going on. And you can see that years ago.
And that's why I said, man, this ain't even sports no more. It's business and entertainment.
Yeah,
that's all it is now.
Yeah, and you can see probably coming down the pipeline, no active player can be a part. It's gonna come. No active player. They're gonna let him get away with it, but once he retire, they ain't gonna let no active player be a part of a ongoing or a part owner of a agency with that much influence, at least.
Yeah, and it's a lot.
So, but you brought that up. You know, the talk is to trade Garland. And I say while people want this, well, they're gonna say while people want his services now, while he's still young, and you know. But
why can't we just?
For me, I don't like it. Like,
this has always been my problem.
Yeah, that's our guy.
It didn't matter the sport, but whenever we have a bona fide dog, a baller, no matter the sport, we're always trying to get rid of them.
Quick, like we scared we can't handle it,
or they don't want to be here. But that's the insecure fan. That's what I be talking about. Now our people, as fans, we don't operate like that.
Yeah, like, man, we
either you ride with us or you don't. I don't care what you think about us. If you don't want to be here, cool, no problem. It's probably going to show. But if you do rock with us, we got you. See, the only time we got duped was with Deshaun Watson, because we had that.
And it's players that know. When I bought into the city, they bought way into me. Man. They say that even after they leave. Like, man, we treat people good here, man.
And you know what? It's so crazy. You wrote down before, you know, we did taping. You had some great points about going back to the Browns organization of if they do get rid of Stefanski, who would be a good fit?
Mm-hmm.
And I think you had made a mention of Josh Cribbs, just because of his time as a player and how he represented himself and the city.
And still represents us.
Still represents.
Yeah.
Still
yeah.
represents.
Yeah.
Still represents.
He be yelling at the screen like he a regular
I'm gonna be
fan.
100, man. I used to have love for Joe Hayden, but once
Uh-huh.
he went to Pittsburgh, like he trying to play both sides, you can't do it, bro. Either you rocking with us.
It's just like that one move you can't make, dude. Like you did it.
So for me,
Joe cool though.
Yeah, no doubt.
He
no
one
doubt.
of those players that still.
But back to Josh though, you gotta know within yourself that you want to lead other men.
Mm-hmm.
So being a coach is being a leader. It's truly being a leader of men. What I mean by that, you have to be your authentic self. So you got to know who you are first before you get in front of other men.
Right.
Because when you step in a room with other men,
they're
trying to dissect you from
they're gonna smell you.
Just how you move, how you look, all that. But if you're authentic and you believe in yourself and what you believe in, then that people can respect that. It don't mean they'll agree with you, but they'll have respect for what you're saying, and they will allow you to show what you bring to the table.
Right.
Because that's all it's about. Having an opportunity to teach what you believe, because it still comes down to teaching. Everybody has a formula. Everybody has a set way of going about doing their business. But it comes down to how do you duplicate what you believe? And that's what teaching is. And that's the thing that I always look for in coaching. I could tell when a team is well coached because it'd be the little things. Like nobody's listening to Stefanski because we still getting the same penalties, bruh. It's the little things that's killing us, bruh. So you could tell me we made an emphasis all training camp. We're gonna be disciplined. If you got to talk about it in the media, that let me know you ain't getting, because that's something I shouldn't have to talk about. That's something that's already said. That's minute. That's nothing.
At the end of each game, he's saying the same thing he's been saying for 5 years.
Because he's not running. Listen, bro, he is not a leader. The reason I say he's not a leader in me, he didn't try to be the head coach. He wanted to show I'm a great offensive coordinator. That's all he's been trying to prove.
And that's my thing. Like, that's why I was asking, like, could he step back and be only that? And we bring in an interim. That's why I posed that question. Like, could we bring in an interim head coach that's like, bro, I'm here. The season's cooked. Let's see if we could bring this season back.
Check this out, man. Maybe. Andrew Berry brought in Mike Vrabel. That wasn't Kevin Stefanski. All right? And he wanted him to be a part, his wealth or not. He's a former head coach. He's from this area. Mike Vrabel wanted the job here. I know he wanted the job. But he wasn't. Listen to me.
I love Mike Vrabel.
Listen to me. But he wasn't about to do that to Stefanski.
Okay. Like just boot him out.
He wasn't going to be the reason why they decided to let him go. You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
So he did right. Like that shows he's solid. He's a man. He understands about respect.
Yeah, like don't just step on somebody in the moment. Right. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. Yeah.
So
and he could have seen a couple years, man. Hey, if he don't get it together, I'll come in if they let him go.
For one, you let him in to see how your inner workings go about their business. He probably peeped game, like, yo, he's not really a head coach. You know what I'm saying? He's organized and all that. He has but you gotta understand, who is Kevin Stefanski? Well, he has the DNA of being under Brad Childress when he was at Minnesota. So that's who he's basically emulating. We're not really seeing the true belief system of Kevin Stefanski.
Because now that you bring that up, like that's how he got the job. This is what. So why would you divert from what I learned as a professional that kept this man employed? You know what I'm saying? That's what he's scared to show his real. He's scared to step out.
But that's why when you become a head coach,
you got to do your own.
Your first thing is, what are my beliefs? Yeah. What do I believe in and how this game is supposed to be played? You get what I'm saying? That's what any successful coach, they have a DNA to them and what they believe this particular sport should be competed at, what level and how to go about it to be successful.
And who's the other person you said was in the organization? Because it was two people. You know,
Schwartz.
just no. You
Schwartz.
said homeboy from Toledo.
I'm sorry. Charles Wilson is part owner, minority owner. He's not gonna get involved like
Okay.
that.
So yeah, them the first two people that came to my mind as far as an interim just for the rest of the season to figure it out.
Now, if he buys more stake into the organization, then you will see his voice being more effective as it should. Because you're an owner, you're a former player, you won Super Bowl, you won a Super Bowl. You get what I'm saying? Like we could bring in all these different people that had experience going to the Super Bowl and winning the Super Bowl, but if we still producing the same product, where do we pinpoint the problem at? Who's not getting the job done?
They just keep
So if
trying
you
to
got the
throw
general
fancy on
manager
fancy.
that is getting, managing the cap, getting us some sneaky talent in when we shouldn't be getting it, but we're getting it because think about it, we lost all those picks because of that, but he still figured out a way to still get some talent in here, manage the cap, but yet we're still losing. I'm just saying, bro.
I see it coming down the line. I don't know why Cleveland always allow outside people, media, to affect what's going on in the city. But
it's not even the outside media. Yeah, who's the worst? It's the local. Bro, you can see the hate.
Yeah.
And when I mean hate, it's flat out racism. And this is something that I have no problem saying. And I hope you don't feel, this is through my 51, my life experience of being here and seeing things how it's done. It is, Cleveland's one of the most racist cities up north. It's just facts. Like they will make it almost seem like you never existed or you didn't have certain accomplishments. So, and that's just local, everyday living. Cleveland was once known as one of the bigger, one of the major cities when it came to the underworld. I'll just say that, right? Please believe the underworld still runs things. It hasn't gone nowhere. Nothing has changed. And for those that don't understand, I'm sorry you don't understand. But for those that do understand, you understand.
People from Cleveland.
And that's from job, that's from everything. Anything. We have, you gotta understand the history. We were once living in the city. Then once we had the opportunity to move in the suburb, they circled us all in the middle and got back out on our city. Now they want to come back into the suburb. So there's a lot of things that go on. And that's why I said we don't control a lot of this stuff that's going on. So that's why you don't put your heart into these sports. You just enjoy it for what it is, be a fan, but you understand there's a bigger picture to life. There's a real world out here. And that's what we need to be focusing on.
The up and coming players that's about to transform their life and make it to that next level, whether it's getting signing your first NIL in college, or you said maybe in high school soon. Some places are already there.
They're trying to push it.
But if you're about to go to that next level, just know that what he's saying is there's something else out here. And if you position yourself and utilize, okay, I could utilize college to get a degree in what I really love. If I tore my legs up tomorrow, so let me utilize this degree. Does that mean leave early? If the talent is there and that's what you need to do for your family, okay. But man, if I might sit there and struggle and, go get that degree. Just keep going back every summer. Even if you do go and pursue and just go on the off season, get your degree and lock that down. That way, if anything funny happens that you see being a grounded human being, you can exit without no regret.
True. And another thing, success is not just based on going to college.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Success, and I heard this from somebody else. For sure. The Grits and A's podcast. I don't know if you're hip to that. Brother out of Atlanta. Shout out to them. Biggest thing as a people that we lack, we don't never have a plan. Now, what I mean by that, understanding each step you make, it takes a plan. It has to be a plan in what you're doing. And what I mean by that, the way I think of all scenarios, positive, negative, it don't matter. So when things happen, it's not a shock. Mm-hmm. I'm not panicking. I'm not becoming emotional, therefore making another bad judgment. I can face the problem with common sense, with intellect, not emotions, and I have a plan. Because if I think something out, I'm creating a plan. That's all you're doing. So when I'm thinking out scenarios, I'm really creating a plan. So when I say, okay, this can happen or this can happen, so how would I respond when these things happen?
Mm-hmm. And you could do this literally. If you're an NFL player, man, you got thousands, millions, whatever, bro. In your closet, you'll have a closet holding your favorite jewelry. Have another cabinet right there with folders saying, if my leg gets tore up season 2, what could I do for my family and myself?
Yeah, how am I going to
So when that happens, go to that folder and see what you told yourself 5 years ago.
How can I create another source of income? And that's what we be talking
12
about.
years ago.
That's what we talk about, multiple sources of income, streams of money, and that's first it starts, let me get educated. And what I mean by being educated, obtaining information that suits your needs and your desires. Mm-hmm. You are made a certain way, you think a certain way, so go follow those things.
Yeah, what you need.
Know what did I just say? Know who you are.
Yeah, because you might not, and even going to college, you might not make it all 4 years to get the degree.
College is to get information,
just to get the,
bro.
Yeah.
That's all college
you might
is
have
for.
it in your plan, I want to go 2 years and get all the info
that degree is not going to promise you a job nor success.
Right.
You go to college to build relationships and exchange ideas, and hopefully obtain information you wouldn't have obtained in everyday life.
Yeah. And that 4-year thing, that's just something they put in place. You can get all that in 2 years, 1 year, all depends whatever for you.
Look, we talked about what? Infrastructure, the trades. That's where it's at. And hopefully this is information that helps somebody. October 27th, down at Tri-C Metro, they're having a trade open house.
Okay.
That I'm even thinking about going down.
And Home Depot just
I heard they're doing certification.
Plumbing, HVAC.
So I had different people in my life that I had a blessing of coaching that got into trades, and they even were trying to tell me, but that's not what I wanted at the time. That's not where I was at. But now I am thinking in those directions now, because if the reality that we know of right now crumbles before us, we're going to have to build back up.
Yeah, you need to.
We need the skills. We need the skill, and that's what infrastructure is. Yep. Infrastructure is the things that creates your neighborhoods, your cities. What infrastructure is about.
Yeah, you want to be one of those people they call when it's time to rebuild.
We also have to get into agriculture. We had to get back to the old ways of farming. When I was growing up, my parents had a garden.
Yeah. And it's a good thing you mentioned that through Art Spark. This summer coming up, we will have the Young Sprouts Learning Center.
Okay.
It's a Young Sprouts Learn to Grow Center. And what we do once they sign up, no matter what day you sign up, that kid, the first thing they got to work on is building. It's a wagon.
Okay.
It's just, I got all the wood. I got the wheels. So they build their wagon. And then once they're done with their wagon, that's when they learn, put the soil in and how to separate their veggies and what can't be next to each other. So then they're able to take that home and pull it out every day out the garage and put it back in to get some natural sun. And if the parents want to have grow lights in the garage, they can grow their food faster, just around the clock, natural sun and lights inside at night. So, we're going to teach them everything about giving plants rest, everything.
Sound like Art Spark is doing great things.
So that's going to be coming up in the spring, this upcoming year, 2026. So we're gonna start with the kids, but anybody can come.
But you know what? We got to start with educating, not just showing.
We have
to get back to educating like really educating, because I don't even think people understand there's an art to growing food. Certain foods do certain jobs. Actually, inside our DNA. That's what we do. We are farmers. We are builders.
Yeah.
We don't destroy and kill like they try to portray. Now, put us in a situation when we're competing, when we don't have nothing, and we're competing for the same thing. Yeah, you've created a blood sport for your own entertainment.
Yeah,
but it's really our lives.
That's anybody.
But that's really our lives we're talking about.
That's what any culture or race is. You know, if y'all take the time and just research it yourselves, it will be a time when they are going to. Anybody that knows anything about water, come down to your local. Yeah, it's gonna happen. So you want to be in a position to be able to answer that call and come down with all the and then it's not about money. It's just about you saving people, and the money will come.
We don't. First of all, money doesn't exist.
Money is gone.
Money doesn't even exist.
It don't.
You know what? Sure. You know what they did? We bartered. If you had a particular skill set, that was your currency.
You're gonna get anything.
So whatever you needed, there was somebody that fulfilled that job.
Yep.
And whatever you were good at doing,
you were gonna be the only plumber in town.
You were gonna be needed.
So you need a wedding cake. The wedding guy need plumbing done.
Why would you need money when I have somebody that can sew clothes, or I got somebody that has a restaurant? I'm like, I don't have to worry about buying. I'm gonna get.
And then you got people that can't do nothing. They just know how to work. They know how to work good. They show up to that.
But everybody,
7-Eleven.
But guess what? Everybody has a value. Don't sell yourself short, people. Follow your dreams. Don't let nobody tell you differently.
So, shout out to everybody out there chasing their dreams, and we want to let all the high school kids going into those games tomorrow just play, give it all you got. Don't leave nothing out there. Get dragged to the back. So that's pretty much our show. We're gonna wait and see what the Browns do. I'm gonna try to go live this week and catch that Browns game for you guys. So lock in, like, and subscribe, and you'll get a notification when we go live, in case you might be working or something and can't catch the game. So as always, peace
and blessings.